What's good, everybody? This is Ryan McKee, and this is The New Perspective. This channel intention is to bring awareness and enlightenment to the unseen, tackling the real issues, breaking through mental barriers to discover, unlock, and understand your true propensity, to create passion that will spark desire to build from the inside out. Now, as you know, mental health is on the rise, whether it's through childhood trauma, toxic ways. I know when I was going through my series of depression, I didn't have anyone to support or understand or even educate me on the right way of dealing with it. And I think we as a community, we can help each other heal. And I think healing is needed in our community. And it's up to us to make a difference. So, with that being said, I hope that this channel can alleviate some of that pain. I hope that I can touch and change lives through this channel. Because at the end of the day, it should all be nothing but peace and love. So let the healing start today. Hey everybody, this is Ryan McKee from A New Perspective. And last week we talked about ending karmic cycles and relationships. Well, this is part 2. In part 1, we pretty much talked about baggage and inner work. Today, we're just going to be a little bit more in depth on the topic. So, today we'll be talking about clarity. Now, clarity is important in relationships because, as you guys know, we may not understand where each other come from. And just like our previous episode, tone, pitch, all that matters. Of how you come off, how you say things. All this stuff matters, and we're just going to dig a little deeper into it, okay? So, first thing that we're going to talk about is clarity. Now, communication in relationships can either be constructive or destructive. Meaning, you can say things that can uplift your partner, or it can tear them down. It could be a simple word, a simple statement, a simple phrase that can tear down, or it might be something you may not consider be so bad or anything. It could be words that have negative connotations to it. So, for example, that's just like the use of I rather than you. When you're in a relationships, I know I did that a lot of times. I can use you, but when you use you, as you're talking to a person, almost come off as if you're blaming them or you're accusing them of something already. So it's so easy for people to fall into victim mode, even if that's not your MO. But the use of I can be very effective because it shows ownership. It shows this is what I'm responsible for, but this is what I would like for you to fix. It shows that you're a team player when you use the word I's. It takes the pressure off that person. It gives them a perspective of, okay, maybe it's just not all on me. Maybe he's admitting to something and then he's just showing me where I could grow from, It could be a statement like, you never listen. And you never listen, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, it may not be that. So, instead of saying you never listen, I've done this exercise myself. Instead of saying you never listen, I had switched it up and I said, I feel as though you missed the bigger picture. I feel as though you focus on the part that upsets you. Now, that shows, for one, how I feel about it. So that way it opened up the dialogue for you to tell me how you feel about it. Because it might not be that. It may not be that. It may very, very much well be that. But you have to see and you have to open up that dialogue. But if you say something like you don't listen, you're throwing fire to fire. And then as long as that oxygen is in the midst, that fire going to keep going until somebody put it out. And it's just going to keep going like that. Another thing I want to talk about is aggression. Sometimes people feel as though they need to talk with aggression, get the point across better. Sometimes, I learned over the years I come off more calmer. Aggression, like I said, is fire with fire. It's not going to do anything but just keep burning, right? So you have to be also aware of, like we talked about before, your tone, your pitch, or how you say things. How aggressive your tone is. Do you sound very demanding? Are you very, because all that matters. Especially if you're like aggressive and you're just being vague and you're just loading your partners with points. Well, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this, and this, and you give them a whole grocery list of things they don't do. When really, I honestly believe now that you should just take it one step at a time. Let's focus on this one situation right here. Let's get that out the way, and then we could just continue to move forward to see what else that we can work on. Notice I said we can work on, not you can work on. I remember them days. So you want to be active instead of passive. That means straight to the point. You don't want to like bottle your emotions, and you want to feel the emotions, but you don't want to give off as if you're feeling the emotion. Okay? Use your words without attacking a person, because anytime, like I said, words can have a negative connotation to it. Sometimes we can use our words as weapons, and they put people in defense mode. And when they get in defense mode, they might get angry, and it might turn violent. It might be verbally, destructive for both of you guys. You know what I'm saying? For example, you could say, like, let's say your significant other, right? Just left the whole downstairs crazy, okay? Plates everywhere, just stuff everywhere, right? Instead of saying, hey, yo, man, why you, like, come on, man, don't be trifling. Why you trifling like that? Trifling is an ugly word. Now, I've used that word in the past because that's the best way I knew how to describe this situation, and I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm saying? But trifling can come off very, very negative, and it come off even if the person, was being, or, does, what that word is. It's when you're speaking in communication, it come off as if you're degrading them. Whether it is or it isn't, it still come off degrading. So instead of saying, why you being so trifling, you can say, can you take yourself upstairs? Plain and simple. You feel the emotions, but you don't, you know what I'm saying? It don't come off as if like you're saying you're trifling. It come off to say like, yo, come on, like, I ain't even trying to get into it with you. Can you take it upstairs? Just something as simple as that. It comes off more of a positive way, and you'll get way more of a positive feedback than say you're trifling. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Or, just anything. It could just be, when it comes to clarity, it could be body language. It could go from we need to talk to we need to talk. Hear the difference? Especially with females. The tone would tell you a lot. It's, even, I don't know, females tricky. Even when it's a soft tone, it says a lot. The pitch, everything says a lot. But we just have to be aware of just how we speak. By being aware, one of the things I also want to talk about is calm it down before you speak, because emotion hold weight, and emotion can not help. Well, yeah, it can help you say some things that you may not mean to say, or it might drive you to a place you might do something you don't really need to do. So, not just in relationships, in life. If you don't control your emotions, you don't have a good grip on life, because life is about controlling your emotions so you can make better decisions. You don't want to make decisions based off emotion rather than logic, and sometimes you don't want to make logical decisions based off emotions. Sometimes you need a balance. So, and we're going to talk about triggers. Now, everybody has triggers. Everyone. I don't care if you healed or unhealed. Everyone has triggers. We may not think of it like that. We might think like, okay, well, what I'm saying, I'm cool. Like, I done did the inner work and all that. No, you still have triggers. One of the main triggers in relationships is baggage. Now, baggage can come in many forms. You have past influences. You know, it could be something like the serial cheater. Now, this is part of baggage, is because, you know, a female might have a history of cheating, you know, on the relationships, on most or all of their relationships, and you might have a fear of that coming back in the future. It's possible, you know. Then you have a baggage of trust issues. You know, you may delay or suppress communications or actions. Now, trust issues, nowadays I believe everybody has trust issues. Even when you trust, you still have a little bit of trust issues. You know, whether male, female, you know, everybody got trust issues. Trust is very, you know, it's a sensitive thing right now. It's almost like a, you know, a forbidden thing to cross. I mean, but you still should have a bit of trust in you, because without it, you won't be able to move to the next level. And it's hard, it's weird to say that, especially in relationships, because it's like, let me say this. If you are in the mindset, or you're in the hurt of your past relationships due to trust issues, your current relationship is going to suffer for that. Now, your current situation may not be that. It might be something totally different, and it might be traits of your past that still lingers around. But if you don't heal from that, and, you know, get rid of a little bit of your trust issues, you can't open up and let the person in. And the person probably won't even be how your previous person was. So it's just something to think about. Past partners' behaviors. You know, that's like somebody having a partner, and they did a certain thing, right? Let's say they came home late. Let's say it's that, right? They come home late, and then you know, you question them. You know, what's going on? Like, it's like 2 a.m. What you doing out here or whatever? It might trigger you. It might trigger you. Like, you know, your current partner do something that your ex does. Not to say that he's probably doing what he was doing, but just tendencies, just little stuff. And it might linger in the back of your head. So, you know, you want to be aware of your baggage and where it comes from. You know, why it makes you upset in the first place. Or, you know, you do want to have that open dialogue with your partner. So that way he knows that, and he's aware of your triggers and your baggage. You know, I believe, you know, I don't know if I said this in the previous video or not, but, you know, try to come into a relationship knowing your partner's baggage, your triggers, if they heal, if they unhealed, because what you would do is you will recreate the past, or, you know, it'll just be a lot of drama and issues because of stuff unspoken about. And it's just like, you want to know what you're getting into, at least the gist of it. You won't know every little detail, but the majority part you should know before, you know, you guys move forward. That way you guys will be on one page. And that's why we're talking about clarity, baggage, inner work, triggers, all that. Because the thing is, when you in a karmic relationship, you don't want to repeat those same things into the current relationship. Make sense? So another one is, you know, still being friends with their ex. Now, this is a problem for a lot of people, because it's just like, you know, they don't want, you know, that oldness to come into the newness, which, you know, makes sense. But like I said, it's something I think, you know, two people should talk about, because it's just like, some people will do it unconsciously, like, oh, we still friends, we still cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still, you know what I mean? It's still my homie and all that, which is cool. Now, some people are not okay with that. Sometimes it make people uncomfortable. Some people will grow into it, you know, but you gotta speak up about that. Alright? You don't want to be that guy Or that girl that when they come around, you're like, oh yeah, I like this and such. So they turn around, you're like, what do you really mean by that? Or like, are they throwing subliminals, or he on that type? Oh no, homie, cool. You know what I mean? No, he don't. He just came out of nowhere. He in town and all that. No, I gotta watch out for him. You don't want to be on angles. You don't want to be on edge when it comes to that. So you have to talk it out. Trust me, you don't want to be that guy or that girl. Being cheated on in the past. That's a trigger. Because, like I said, this is something that, it's something where though, like, you could harbor that feeling. Or you might get little inklings or things. Okay, well, he put his phone down, he out late, you know what I'm saying, he out with his boys, she out with a girl. You don't want to overthink and be in that mindset of, this and this to this, whatever. This comes with trust issues as well. So you have to heal the trust issues first. Because if you don't, like I said, that whole being cheated on, whatever, you can't change the past. It happened. You got to have a little trust in your relationship. But you got to talk. That's where the trust comes from. A lot of times people don't trust people because they're not open. Let's see. Now, sometimes, people will have emotional withdrawals. You might pull back. You might just distance yourself for a long period of time, But I would say this. A lot of people, if you have an emotional withdrawal, take that time. Don't take too much time to come back to your partner. You don't want to really like shut down or whatever, and then just like, because a lot of times we can shut down and be defensive, and that could cause a lot too. When it comes to baggage, when it comes to triggers, just anything. You want to be open emotionally and mentally with your significant other. Boundaries. Make your boundaries clear in the beginning. Here's another thing. When it comes to this is part of the healing. You want to make boundaries in the beginning because just like, if you're the type of person who needs space and you tell your person you need space, they gotta respect it. And if not, then that's where the problems start. Like, okay, like I know you need your moment and all that, but you gotta set time for you to do things like that. You don't want to hold resentment. You don't want to hold grudges. That's what speaking up comes in. You don't want to just say, oh, it's cool, and just let the resentment build up, and you have a bigger problem. Time. Now, having time and making time is something totally different, right? Sometimes we can be busy, but we make time for the things we love, so you don't want that to be a factor. Now, sometimes, people go through emotional withdrawal, become defensive because a lot of times it's overwhelming. I know for me, sometimes, especially, growing up in relationships or whatever, sometimes the anxiety will build up and it will just be overwhelming. It's like, you know what? I'd rather not deal with this. That's where the shutdown or withdrawal most likely come from. So, I mean, it's important to, like I said, open up, have clear communication, so you guys can understand each other better. What you don't want to do is do tit for tat and ignoring your partner. Now, tit for tat is that's something I used to do all the time. I used to try to do the whole tit for tat thing. Well, this, that, and then the person comes with their stuff or whatever. It never goes anywhere, and then just ignoring your partner, for what? I mean, I know why for a little bit, but it's just like overall, you guys had to talk because it would lighten you up and it'll lighten that person up. You know, because a lot of these emotions heavy. Like I said, it could be overwhelming for both of you guys. You know, your guys might not speak on it, but it could be overwhelming. So it'll lighten both of you up to talk about it, have that open communication. You know, you don't want to really be, you know, denying responsibility. Say, you know, I did when you really didn't, or you mean to, but you ain't do it. You know what I mean? Just take the emotions out of it. Though some of these situations is emotional based, and then a lot of it is more logical based. So when it comes to like baggage and triggers, we all have them. We all have them, healed or unhealed. We might not always, you know, and a lot of times when people be like they heal, it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to get to 100% healed. I don't even think I met a 100% healed person. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically, emotionally healed. It's possible, but it still may be something that lingers. So it's like, you know, you want to give people time and space, but you do want the time and space to open them up for them to be reflective of what's going on. You know, sometimes people can heal each other. You know, you guys, y'all could talk more, and y'all could, like I said, y'all could just be more friends. You know, that's why, you know, once y'all guys come to a common ground, get rid of the baggage. You know, do the inner work, the shadow work, spend some alone time. You know, you might do some counseling. You know, get back out there. You know, I think this stuff is important. The inner karmic cycles into, you know, when it comes to starting new relationships, because a lot of times we don't give ourselves time to heal. We'll get out of something, go right back in it. Sometimes with the same mindset, sometimes with the same energy. And it's like we have to heal before we could get into something new, before we could start something new, before we could understand each other. You know, that's why I wanted to talk about these things. So, you know, until next episode, love, peace, and harmony. Hey everybody, this is Ryan McKee from A New Perspective. If you like my content, like, comment, and subscribe. You know, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm going to be dropping episodes every Monday between 7 and 8 p.m. So, you know, stay tuned. Also, follow me on Facebook as Ryan Accomplice McKee. And you can follow me on Instagram at ace_McKee. Once again, I'm going to be dropping episodes every Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. So like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend, and share. Love, peace, and harmony.